Hello everyone, my name is Nikki, and if you're a regular viewer of the TVI channel, you will know me as Mrs. TVI. I don't have a car, but I do have a GoPro and an interest in history, architecture, but more specifically, cemeteries. It's time to see where I am and what I'm getting up to in my corner of the TVI channel today. Hello everybody, Mrs. TVI back here again for another instalment of my part of the main TVI channel. Today I am in the beautiful village of Morborne in Cambridgeshire. See here, we've got a very sort of a red brick church tower, looks very Norman, and then we have a little cemetery. So I'm going to take a look around, see what I can see. I've already seen a bit of wildlife, some squirrels scurrying about, and then we're going to catch up with Andy a little bit later. But yeah, I mean, look at this, isn't this just beautiful? Let's see what we can see. So it's a very old sort of churchyard with lots of very old sort of stones. There's the odd one or two modern ones in between, but it's small, and you know, in that of course you don't sort of get an awful lot of variety. What I do see is, I mean, obviously the ground's very wet today. We had a lot of rain yesterday, although the weather's much nicer today. What I do see is a graveyard that's been kept quite well. We've got some, like I said, all these older Edwardian Victorian stones. Not much that we can read, unfortunately. So, like for example, this one here, I can see it says Susan Killingworth Sturgeon 1876. But then next door to it you've got these which are literally unreadable. You can see this one here that's shaped like a scroll. Let's just go take a quick closer look at that before we move on into the church itself. So again, so this one very covered in lichen, and I literally can't read a word that's on there. Quite an interesting marker though. Looks like boulders from one side and then a scroll on the other. So quite interesting. Let's see if we can get into the church. So it looks like scroll style markers were quite the thing in this churchyard. There's a whole row of them here and one or two on this section as well. Let's get up close with one or two of these. They look to be a family. Ellen Anderson Cheney, August 4th 1934, so 1834, died March 16th 1919. Jessie Verdon Cheney, October 22nd 1918, passed away then October 22nd 1918, age 54. There's no birth date on that one. And here, Eileen Elizabeth, another Cheney, 19 7. Unfortunately the markers have degraded somewhat, but let's have a look, because you can see the little door there. It's like it is open, well, certainly the porchway is open, but let's have a look, see if we can't get in. So just here we've got sort of a font or a blessing well, or could even be in the site of a village pump, now used for planting. Let's see if we can get in. Okay, I I don't know why, but I do get the feeling if we do get into this, it could be a Churches Conservation Trust. Unfortunately, it is locked. So if you do wish to look inside, the key is actually held at Manor Farm. But the time it'll take for us to go and get that, it's not a Conservation Trust one, but the time it'll take us to get that, I think it'll be quite lengthy. But yeah, so we've got a few notices here. In fact, I might just have a TVI card in my pocket, because I wonder if he's found a notice board. He's in the churchyard now, actually. I could ask him, but you know. There's a Facebook group here, Stilton Group of Churches. So that might come in useful. Let's see if we can't nobble a pin. No, it won't come out. So I'll tell you what, we just took in TVI's card there. There we go. Right, let's go back and find the mister. So just while I'm trying to find Andy, I found these two matching headstones, and they literally match pretty much in every way. They're both for Thomas Buck Simpson, except one of them died, the one on the left in 1876 and the one on the right in 1901. So a little bit of family there. Give us a wave. Okay, so that's it for this church, St Mary's. We are going to go and add on a second one into this video because it's only quite short, and that is in the next village along. So I will see you in a few moments. Hi everybody. So as promised, this is the second of my cemetery visits today, and this one is the beautiful church in the village of Haddon. So just turn around so you can see the actual church itself. I haven't worked out this church's designation just yet, but we are in Haddon in Cambridgeshire. So we'll take a little look around this churchyard, look at the leaves of the autumnal day and see what we can see. So got some benches dotted around here as well, which is rather nice. And then we have the older sort of bit here. Although having said that, some of these graves are sort of from the 50s and 60s. But then to the back there you can see some older ones. But there is a new one in there amongst there as well. So let's just take a walk around the front here. This is quite a large and imposing one. This is Mary Ann, daughter of Hugh and Rose Higgins, who died 1827, October 18th, 1827, aged just 16. So TVI is in this graveyard with me as well. So we're going to have a look and see if we can get into this church, as we've not been able to get into one yet today. So let's go and see if we can find him. Okay, so here I am at the church entrance, and as you can see, we're open. We're going to go in and take a look around. So first and foremost, we've got a lovely sort of porch area here with a bit of a notice board on it, and then going in, what a lovely looking church. Okay, so just looking around here, this doesn't look like it's a church that's used particularly often, I have to say, because as you can see, most of the altar there is covered. Now whether or not that's to protect from a leaky roof or something like that, I don't know. But it's quite a pretty little church with a font there as well at the top end. A little kitchen area. Okay, and there's a restoration stone here. The church was restored in 1901. Okay, let's go and see what else we can see in the churchyard. So yeah, just coming out of the church now. Andy's gone off to film the rest of this village. This one is another church that's dedicated to Saint Mary. So I'm going to come out here and take a look at, again, some of the very old graves that are in here and see what we can see. So just literally outside the door of the church we have a couple, again, I often find them in churchyards, lots of matching headstones. And here you've got Samuel Rowell, aged 79, and Amy Rowell, aged 85, that both passed away sort of early part of the 20th century. And then there's another Amy Rowell here who died in 1916. So I'm going to have a walk around and see if I can find any other markers that catch my eye. Okay, so here I found a small sort of patch of graves that all appear to belong to the Roberts family. So there's this one here which I can't really make out. The writing is incredibly degraded. There's a tiny one here which is pretty much sunken, and again the writing's degraded, but given their tomb's proximity to that tomb there, which is for a Edward Robert Roberts, and this one here for Theodosia, the wife of William Roberts, I think it's safe to assume that these are all part of the same family. And given that they are very close to the outer wall of the chancel of the church as well, beautiful Norman church there, they must have had quite either some local connection or some influence, or may even been like a local landowning family or something, which has sort of given rise to their very good position here in the churchyard. So going into sort of slightly sunnier parts of this churchyard. It's by no means full, but that doesn't mean, well, I said by no means full. By no means full of markers, but that doesn't mean to say it's got no burials in the unmarked areas. But the difficulty is here is that a lot of the signs are very degraded. A lot of the graves are, the writings are covered in lichen and moss, or and they're just simply, they're like markers that an individual is here, but we can't go and see them very clearly, which is a great shame. There are a few over this side which are a little bit more clear. So this one was Anne, the lady who passed away, the wife of William, May 28th, 1916, aged 28. Lost a while, our treasured love, gained forever, safe above. It's quite nice. And we have over here we have an Eliza, the wife of Thomas, who died in 1912, aged 52, and then Thomas, who died in 1924. There's a few other sort of older graves like that, and there's quite a lot of these sort of four corner graves. I call them four corner graves, like the one in the middle of the shot. But again, we'll have difficulty with some of the writing. But yeah, it's an interesting graveyard. Again, it's just very peaceful, very quiet, and quite a nice way to sort of round off this video really. So I'm going to move on to my next one, and I will see you all in the next video, guys. So from Cambridgeshire, from Mary Magdalene's Church, take care, and we'll see you on the next one.